Due to the geoid shape of our earth, most of the sunlight year round falls over the equatorial region. Herbs are all soft bodied plants, okay? They do not have a rigid woody structure. So, stratification of a forest ecosystem also results in resource partitioning between different groups of animal species or between different communities. So, there is reduced competition and reduced pressure on a particular kind of resource. Apart from all these, let us now look into the finer aspects of our ecosystem. How our ecosystem is organized. Now, there are different kinds of ecosystems on our planet. Near the equator, you will find tropical forest ecosystems. Okay. As you go further away from the equator, you will find temperate deciduous type of ecosystems. And when you go to the poles, you will find the tundra ecosystem, land of ice and snow. Also, you will find desert ecosystem scattered in the tropics and subtropics. You will also find mountainous ecosystem or alpine ecosystem high up in the mountains. So, all these ecosystems have some common features. We will look into them. The common features of all ecosystem, the first common feature of all ecosystem is species composition. Species composition. Now, what do you mean by species composition? Species composition is nothing but biodiversity. Okay, it indicates the richness of an ecosystem. It indicates the richness of an ecosystem. This richness or biodiversity is measured by Simpson's biodiversity index. It is a range of value, okay, from 0 to 1. 1 means optimum biodiversity. No more species can occupy a particular ecosystem if the value of this index is 1. And if it's 0, that means it is devoid of any life. You will find that tropical regions, okay, around the equator is most diverse. Why? Because due to the geoid shape of our earth, most of the sunlight year round falls over the equatorial region, and since sunlight is the limiting factor of life, it drives photosynthesis. Without sunlight, there wouldn't be any producers, at least there wouldn't be any photoautotrophs. So, most of the photoautotrophs, that is the plants, the fungus, etc., not the fungus, I'm sorry, the plants, the algae, they are all restricted. Most of them are restricted in the tropical region. And since the greater the plant diversity, the greater the animal diversity, because more diverse the plant population is, there will be larger number of and more diverse populations of herbivores, and larger and diverse population of herbivores will attract carnivores and omnivores. And where there is large biomass of plants and animals, there will be large number of decomposers as well, because without them there will be no nutrient cycling. The ecosystem will cease to exist, because if nutrients are not returned periodically to nature, to earth, new life cannot thrive, because the earth has a limited amount of resources. If that gets depleted, life could not be possible on a long term basis. Okay, and the polar regions, the deserts are least biodiverse. This we have discussed earlier. Why? So, species composition is more stratified, is more vivid, is more diverse in the tropical region, and more linear, and more, I should say, like not linear, but I should say that the polar regions, the species composition is not very much stratified. Not very much stratified. Okay. Now we have encountered a new term, stratification. What is stratification? Another component common in all ecosystems is the stratification. What is stratification? Let us understand with an example. If this is the soil, excuse me, if this is the soil, you will find small herds, near the soil, grass and other small plant life forms. These are known as the herds. Next, you will find a bit of taller, hard bodied, a bit of woody kind of short plants, and they are known as the shrubs. Herbs are all soft bodied plants, okay? They do not have a rigid woody structure. But just above the height of the herbs, you will find slender, medium height, woody plants. Okay, they are also short but taller than the herbs. They are the shrubs. Then you will find the large woody trees. You will find the large woody trees. Okay, the large gymnosperms and angiosperms. These are the trees, and the top region of the trees, this top region of the trees is termed as canopy, the topmost part of a forest ecosystem. So this is the stratification of a forest ecosystem. This is the stratification of a forest ecosystem. And what we are encountering is all the species of plants are being arranged in layers or in strata based on their height and physical appearance and their utilization of various resources. And there are few species of animals that are dependent only on the herbs. They do not exist in the shrub layer. There are animals which depend only on the shrub layer. They do not depend on the herb layer. Okay. However, there is some overlap. In real life, there is some overlap because some herbaceous animals are also dependent on shrubs, and some shrub-dwelling animals are also dependent on herbs, and vice versa. Some animals are completely restricted to the tree region and the canopy region. Okay, they live on the trees or inside the tree trunk, the hollow regions of the tree trunk, and there are many animals like hulab gibbons, like hornbills, like toucans, lot of animals that spend their entire life on the forest canopy. They do not go down to the shrub or the herb layer. Okay, they spend their entire life from the moment they are born till they die in the canopy layer. They are known as arboreal animals. So they are restricted in this canopy region or the tree region. Okay, so stratification of a forest ecosystem also results in resource partitioning between different groups of animal species or between different communities. So there is reduced competition and reduced pressure on a particular kind of resource. So stratification is also one of the very important components of the ecosystem. Now stratification mainly depends on sunlight, soil nutrients. Okay, water in aquatic ecosystem, water and temperature as well, and also wind. Why wind? Because wind is an important pollinating agent. Okay, wind is an important pollinating agent. So wind pollinated plants, be it herbs, shrubs or trees, they arrange themselves, they arrange their flowering parts in such a way so that air currents can pass through them and carry their gametes, carry their pollens. Okay, so wind also plays an important part. Wind is also an important abiotic component that plays an important part in the stratification of an ecosystem. So species composition and stratification are two common features found in all ecosystem present on earth.